today we are going to cover about exploratory data analysis in SPSS. But you start by sharing your screen about the assignment you did, and maybe from there we will know the way forward from your assignment, and then we will go to the data set for today.
Okay, give me a minute. Let me share.
Okay.
Give me a minute. Assignment.
Do you know where you saved it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm about to
Just
share it.
press.
Give me a minute.
So you can first of all share your screen, and then maybe from there we can know the way forward. Yeah, so as I said, it was a nice work indeed, and it was a very nice work. I can see your screen now, and yeah, so I can appreciate the work you did. So first of all, maybe you start maybe just define to us some additional rows that you added to your data, the additional variables that you added to your data. Like for example, the purchased what?
Amount.
Yeah, purchased amount, and also the communication attitude.
Yeah.
Yes, that helps us to understand the customer behavior. That's very nice. So just explain to us how you did that customer attitude.
The same thing. The same thing as satisfaction. I just used the satisfaction as an example. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah, as in the customers rate the communication from the staff to them. 1 in 4, 2 good, 3 okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is really insightful to know that you learned about that. But now today we are just going beyond the entry. So for example, the first thing that we usually do once you have data is to do exploratory data analysis. Exploratory data analysis means that we want to get more insights out of the data that we have. So for example, I will encourage you to go to Analyze, go to the Analyze tab. From Analyze tab, you go to Descriptive Statistics. No, you hover down here like that, and then go to Descriptives. Go down to Descriptives. So from Descriptives, there you can take all your variables to the variable tab, where the variables you want to maybe to learn from. For example, you want to see the descriptives of gender, you want to see the descriptives of age. So you just click all, you can click on one and drag down, scroll down. You can scroll down and select all the others. Like you select the top and then shift to the bottom, the last one you want. Yeah. No. Click on one, hold shift, click on average time. Yeah, then you click on the arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. You can put all your data variables into that for you to see some descriptives out of it. So you can just click OK, so that we see what are the descriptives that we are going to get from the data that you prepared. So from there, you can open the whole window like that. So from there, we can see the descriptives of those variables. So we can see the minimum value. We can see the number, all, there's no missing value, everything is 10. And we can see the minimum values for each variable. We can also see the maximum values for each variable. We can also see the mean for each variable, of which for categorical variables like ordinal and nominal variable, the mean does not make sense. For mean, we usually only look at the scale variables. Like for example, age, like for example, the identification is not supposed to be computed in any way. Yeah, so we should not consider it as a computation. So you can avoid it while selecting the variables to view their descriptives. And you can also check at the standard deviation. So standard deviation is how far are the values away from the mean, how away the values are from the center, Yeah. Then from there, now we have seen the descriptive statistics. So we can look at the frequencies of some variables. So you can go to analyze, go back to analyze. You can just go to any analyze, even in the window, there's no problem. In the output window, no problem. You can go to any analyze. So analyze, then go to descriptive statistics and go to frequencies. So from there, you take variables that you want to check their frequencies. In most cases, we usually consider categorical variables because it is good to check the frequencies of categorical variables compared to the continuous variables. So all variables that are nominal and ordinal, you can take them to the variable view. So you start with the customer gender, take it to the variable view, and then go. You can hold control instead of shift. Hold control, and you tap on variables that you want. So you tap on customer gender, tap on customer satisfaction, tap on hold shift, hold control. Sorry, hold control. Don't forget to hold control. Hold control. Then now click on customer satisfaction. Don't leave holding control. So click on customer satisfaction. Hold control as well. Don't release it. Click on how frequently. Also click on customer not identification. Go to customer staff. Go to staff communication. You can scroll down your and then select the customer service, and then click on the arrow to take the variables to like that. So we have our categorical variables that we want to find out some descriptive statistics in terms of frequencies. And then you can go to charts, and on your right, the same. No, don't click OK. Don't click OK. Go to charts there. And you can select which chart do you want to visualize. So we can just select the bar chart. For each variable, we will be seeing a bar chart. And maybe we want to see the frequencies or percentages. In most cases, we usually consider percentages because sometimes frequencies may not be used to generalize customers. So you click on define, on continue, and then click on OK. Yeah, so you will start seeing the frequencies for each variable. You will start by seeing, scroll up a little bit, up. Okay, from where? No, not there. From down. The second syntax from there, statistics. We see there's some statistics for each variable. Each variable has 10 valid values. There's no missing value. So that's how we explore our data to check if there is missing values in our data. And we start seeing the frequency tables. For example, the customer's gender. We see how many male do we have, how many female, how is their percentages, you see. When you scroll down, you go to customer satisfaction. Under customer satisfaction, you can also be able to see their frequencies in terms of the categorical variables that we have. For example, unsatisfied, their levels, neutral, how many say they are neutral, how many say they are satisfied, and their corresponding percentages. When you scroll down, you see how frequently customers buy at our shop. imagine that data that you gave us, we can be able to explore all this. So you can be able to find out how many people are for the first time coming to our shop, how many people are twice, and how many are frequently coming to our shop. And then from there, we can be able to check out the staff communication clarity. So we can see poor, how many said it is poor, how many said it's better, how many said it is best, and their corresponding frequent percentages. When you scroll down, we can also be able to see the customer service empathy towards the customers. Customer service empathy towards the customers. So we can see the frequency of bad customer service, empathy, good, you can see the excellence. So how many people said it's bad, how many said this, and their corresponding percentages. So from there now we can go to explore the bar charts of what we have just seen. So sometimes maybe scratching the numbers is hectic, so we go with the bar charts, we go with the visuals. So for example, in this case for gender, we can see that we had many male customers who attended to this or responded to this, maybe our questionnaire. And from there, we can right click on that chart if you want to see the percentages. So double click on that chart, just double click on it. It will open an editor window. So just click on close, close, you see there, click on, yeah. So it will open an editor window. So suppose we want to add percentages onto it. So I want you to right click on the chart or any bar, right click on any bar. So when you right click on any bar, you can see show data labels, show data labels, show data labels. Let's see. Yeah, so there you'll have added the percentages for each bar, and that other tab is not even important. So what is important there was to add the data labels. You can also format your chart the way you want by also formatting the colors that you want. So just close that window, that tab, close that window, sorry. So right click again, maybe you can see the easiest way of navigating to the colors. But of course, I think you can still get the colors under elements. So what can you be able to see there? You can be able to just go to elements at the top there. Maybe we can be able to easily see because we usually have a lot of things here to interact with. When you hover, I want you to hover on, no, not there. Sorry, just hover on, you see files from the file menu, sorry, go to the bottom, the lower icons, not under file, the lower icons, not under file, yeah. So when you hover along all those icons, you can see what you can be able to do. Don't click on them, just hover. Don't click on them, just click again to an item, yeah, like that. So just hover on and you will see the names for each. So hover, click on the chart first of all. I think there's something you did, yeah. Click on the chart. Oh, that one is still active. Click on it, go to it and click on it to return it. Yeah, click on it again. So you can now fill the colors. You are closing it, click on it again and click on it. So check the colors there, fill colors the way you want. Just click on any color we see. That is the preview color you want. Click on apply. That is for the background. The background color, you can undo the color by clicking on another color that you want, or you can reset to the default color. So in SPSS, when it comes to how you want your colors to be, it is how long do you take on your charts to to make them look nice. But the default one are always still the best. They are simple and they are straightforward to the point. So you can explore more on how you can be able to change the colors. Can you hover to, let's say, just close there. Go to, hover again to your right, hover to your right, hover to your right. No, to your right, the other side. The other side, hover, 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 hover. Next. No, not there. Not
But
there.
this
Next,
mirror
next,
is
next,
okay.
next. The far end. Those ones are, you see, if you want to edit the x-axis, if you want to edit the y-axis, are the x and y, the ones you see there. So I'm saying you hover towards your right. I don't know where your right is because my right, for my case, it is yes, yes. So not that. So go at the center of your visuals. At the center of your visual, the icon that looks like a bar chart. Icon that looks like a bar chart at the center. There, over on it. So that one tells you to transpose. You can now present your bar chart in that way and not the other original way of orientation. And by that you can be able to see if it is better than the other one in terms of maybe making sense and stuff like that. So you can just reset your plot your plot to default. So just undo everything that you have done to your chart, or if you want, okay, if you just undo once, undo again. Okay, so just close the window. Once you close the editor window, you will have saved your edits. So for example, you remained with the percentages for that chart. I think there's something you did to, and you did away with the other percentages, but still you can still do the re-editing. So you will not be able to do it right now. You can still explore it later, but that is the process. So you'll just need to familiarize yourself with the editor, graph editor window. So when you scroll down, you can see also other percentages for each. You can see the percentages for other charts, how they are distributed. You see, it is better than even the numbers because it makes more sense when you see them in this manner. So when we see like this, we cannot be able, yes, we have explored, but we cannot be able to know maybe how many female said that the staff communication clarity is poor, is bad, or something. So for us to do that, we usually carry out a cross tabulation. So go to analyze, or you have a question before we check at the. Okay, so go to analyze. So from analyze, you go to the descriptive statistics. Today we are just exploring data. So descriptive statistics, you can be able to go to the cross tab, from frequency to cross tab. So under cross tabulation, you take a variable that you want to be in the row. Cross tabulation is just building a contingency table for your gender. For example, now take gender to the row and take the staff communication clarity to the column. Staff communication clarity to the column. You can still also do on any other variable, categorical variable, as long as your variable is categorical. And then now you can go to, I think you can just be able to build that. Simple as that. So just click on OK. Just click on OK. And from there, you can see the cross tab that there were no missing values. And you can see the second table, which is customers gender versus the staff communication clarity. So that means that here we can be able to explore how many male said that the services customers clarity is poor, how many male said that it's better, and how many male said that it is best. And also we can be able to see how many female said that it is poor, said it is better, And actually, we can also be able to see how many said it is best. So suppose we go back to the cross tabulation, just go to analyze. Cross tabulation. No, move along the arrow. Yeah, you have to move along the arrow. So click on statistics. Click on statistics. So on statistics there, if you want to compare if there is an association between gender and customer, we look at the chi-square. So you check the box known as chi-square. Check on the box known as chi-square. So that one is the one we use. You will learn it in theory. Or if you have already learned it, but you learn it in theory. But now we usually use it to check if there is an association between two variables, categorical variables. So you can click on continue. You can click on continue. So you can check display clustered bar chart. There is a checkbox down there under suppress and table and display. Just select that one to display the charts. And then now we can click OK. So from here, we can see the chi-square test. So in this case, in chi-square, we are going to use the Pearson chi-square. So the null hypothesis is that there is no relationship between the two variables. It depends on how you set your null hypothesis. But I think you'll also learn about hypothesis. But you can actually make a decision based on the value that you have. So, Marilyn, are you in this call?
Yes, I'm in this call.
Yes. What can we be able to say about the chi-square? The chi-square here about the relationship between the customer gender and the staff communication clarity based on the Pearson chi-square value that we have for the assumption of significance, the two-sided. What can we be able to conclude? Yes? Are we together?
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you know, Nini, which use it as a conclusion?
Okay. So in this case, what we usually do is that there is a lot. You see, when you compute anything, there is a lot of decisions, interpretation, things that you can be given more options for making decision. You are usually provided with more options for making decision. So you choose which method, which option do you want? So you choose based on what you are familiar with. You choose the interpretation because the interpretation is still the same throughout. So you choose on what are you familiar with.
So for me, I'm not familiar with anything. How will I conclude?
So for you, we are showing you how you can be able to conclude is that you in chi-square test, we usually use it. This one is the test for independency. So we are trying to test to see if there is a relationship, if there is any relationship between the variable known as gender and the respondents. You see, sometimes in analysis, we may want to know if staff communication clarity depends on the gender. Like if there is, you see, like maybe male tend to have an issue with the attendants, or the female are the one who usually have the issue with the customers, with our staff, you see. So we want to know if there is any kind of relationship between the the two variables in this case that we are discussing, which is gender and the staff communication. So for us to interpret, we are using Pearson chi-square. The first output, the first value that we see there in the table, chi-square test table. So the first column is value, the second column is the degree of freedom, and the third column is asymptotic significance, two-sided. So in this case, we are using the asymptotic significance, two-sided. This is the p-value that has been outputted. You will learn p-value more as we progress, but you can still research on it more, but you will still meet it in theory, where you will now be able to relate it more on how we do it in practical. So this value is usually, hope you have somewhere you are noting, you have to note that the initial threshold for p-value is 0.05. So we usually compare the value that we get here, which is 0.259 for this case. We usually compare it with 0.05. So in this case, when we want to make a decision about an association between the gender and the staff communication, we usually say that when the value we get here is less than 0.05, we reject the claim that there is no association between the two variables. The claim is usually that there is no association. Like the claim is, we are saying that actually there is no association between male and female in terms of their actions to the staff communication clarity. You see? Do you get the scenario here? First of all, the business scenario, do you relate it well?
No, you've lost me. The upper part of Nini, if the value we have gotten is less than 0.5.
0.05. If it's less than 0.05, yes. So that is the threshold value that we usually compare. So you compare the asymptotic significance value there with the 0.05. So if the value we get there is less than 0.05, we reject the claim. The claim is what we call null hypothesis. Can you note down? The null hypothesis, in this case, we are setting the null hypothesis that male are associated with female. For example, we can say male are associated with female. Like we want to know if there is difference in terms of gender.
Okay.
First of all, I asked if you can relate this scenario to the real life. Because when I use the real life, we can be able to understand. Can you relate it? Can you relate the scenario where we want to know if the feedback from the clients is associated on their gender? Like maybe if someone was male, is the one who is likely to say that they got maybe poor services, poor communication from the staff. And if maybe people are female, the client is female, is the one whom may tend to have that kind of maybe behavior. So that's what this analysis is about. We are doing an in-depth exploratory data analysis to find out if there is that kind of association. So maybe I'll...
if I've gotten it right, so upper 0.259, see it's greater than 0.05.
Yes.
Meaning there's an association.
So yeah, we fail to reject. Now there we fail to reject the null hypothesis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how we make the decision. So we usually start by setting our null hypothesis. So let me just give you some hints in the chat section for the call, so that you can use maybe the same to. Let me just paste in the chat section. So that's additional interpretation that you can use to okay. Then also share some insights on the hypothesis testing, how to set the hypothesis, so that you can know when we talk about what is null and what is not null. Of course, we'll add additional material in the learning management system so that you can have the theoretical side of it, because we cannot be able to cover all the theory in the session, but you can still go through it in the learning management system, the classroom.
Okay.
So the gender and customer satisfaction, clarity, customer, staff, communication, clarity are independent. That's the null hypothesis. So let me paste to you this, and then you go through it, and now you can interpret fresh based on all what you'll have understood. Okay. Yes, pasting gender and the staff communication clarity are not independent, so they are associated. Okay. So not independent, they're dependent. So check your chat section. So can you be able to see your chat section while sharing your screen, really?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you cannot unless you stop sharing again. Okay. Yeah, you can just stop sharing and then go through, see the hypothesis side, stop sharing, then check the hypothesis side, and then we can be able to come back here. No problem with that, because we have to understand the background. So check the chat section. Oh, Marilyn, you were explaining with your mic off. We were not hearing what you were saying, so we thought you are not together with us. So, Jacqueline, check hypothesis first before you go to the top part, how we compare. So, how we set the hypothesis is that the null hypothesis is that gender and staff communication clarity are totally independent. Like we say, they have no association. You see?
Mm.
The alternative is that gender and the staff communication clarity are not independent, which means they are associated. So when we reject the null hypothesis, that means we are saying that they are associated. If we fail to reject the null hypothesis, that means that there is no association. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we usually compare. Now you can go to the top. We compare the value we got under the asymptotic significance with the 0.05. So when the p-value associated with the chi-square value, the one we got, is less than our chosen significant level, which is 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis. But now for our case, our value was greater than 0.05. That means that we fail to reject the null hypothesis. The null hypothesis was what? No association. So we fail to reject that there is no association. So based on what we have, our simple data that we have, we can conclude that there is no association between male and female. In terms of, there's no association like between gender concerning the staff communication clarity. Are we together now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Marilyn, you can unmute and add what you added to add, because you said you were talking, but we cannot hear you. So maybe you can add.
Yes. Jackie, how are you?
I'm fine.
So I was also just talking on the p-value. Like you can check, you can look at the value that you have found in the area that you had asymptotic your 0.259. Yeah, just as Madanga has explained. So that is the p-value that we usually check, and the one that we usually compare it is usually 0.05, as he was just explaining. So that is one way that you can usually come to use while we want to make our decision. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is the easiest way, Jackie, for you to make decision. The other way is using the value that you saw there, so you compare with another table. So for for us to make the faster decision, we are usually provided with you see you are provided a lot of options on how you can make decision. So you make decision with what you feel you are comfortable with. You don't have to know all other ways of making decision. That's why you see even your table had other outputs like the likelihood output. So you can share your screen back so that we can proceed. Yeah, so that's how we explore data into details. So yeah, so with the time we will come to see how those things. This is how the practical thing is, aside with the theory that we get with simple data. So this is how we make a decision in businesses. When you want to make a business decision, you cannot be computing the p-values and the t statistics via the pen. So you have to use the systems that are already there to make decision. So from there we can see a clustered bar chart of the customer and their associated of their gender, the customer gender, and the associated staff communication clarity. So many male said it's better. And also many male, when you look at that color, male color, you see us men, we are colorblind. So for me, I can just look at the legend. I can look at the legend and see that that color is better. So I can say that many male said that the staff communication clarity is better. Uh, uh, because when you look at the other value we had at the first point at the table, the cross tabulation table, it will tell you how much was it, which value was it, but you can still add the value using the procedure we used by right clicking and going to the chart editor and stuff like that to add the exact values. By double clicking you can, or you can right click, you click on edit or double click. Right click, you click on edit or double click the chart, and you now go to your, you can right click again on any chart, and then you can add the labels. Those are the categories, variables, what depth angle chart says. Can you close and right click anywhere in the chart? Close that, right click anywhere in the chart, not the exact. Right click anywhere. Yes, you can now add the data labels. The data labels. Show data labels. The bottom one. Show data labels at the bottom. Yeah. Those are the data labels. So yeah, so just close there. So you can see the exact values, or sometimes if you could have used maybe something like percentages, you could have seen the percentages. So there's a lot to explore that we cannot be able to cover all of it here. So you'll explore later. So you can just close the editor and then it will have applied those exact values. So you can close the editor there. Yeah. And yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so that's how you can be able to see that in depth. So that's how we carry out. So you can still carry out such tests on other variables that you think maybe there is importance for you to carry out. Hope it is clear now, Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So apart from that, we have seen the bar chart, so you can still also that was the other way of visualizing that. But you can go to your graph if you want to plot anything. So you usually
Sorry
use
to
the graph way.
interrupt.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Before you continue, maybe you can
Yes.
clarify more on categorical and continuous variable, because there are some tests or some analysis that you can do on specific variable and you can't do it on the other variable. So maybe you clarify on the continuous and the categorical variables.
Yeah, so we said that while we were plotting the contingency table, we plot contingency table on the categorical data. The contingency table is the table above. When you scroll above, Jacqueline, you will see the contingency table is where you have male on this side and female on this side. The cross tabulation we plotted. That one. No, not far, just above the chart we were looking at. Just above the chart. The chi-square test, that table above, the customer, gender, and the staff communication cross tabulation. So that is what we call contingency table. So you see, we usually do it on categorical variables. That's why you saw while we were plotting, we only took the categorical variables and we want to check if there is association between these two variables. So for chi-square test, we advise you to make use of the categorical variables to check if there is association between the categorical variables. If you have variables that are continuous, you go and use the scatter plot for you to check if there is relationship between the two variables. If it is linear, of course, that will mean there is an association or there is relationship. We will see that later using the other data set that you have, because it has a lot of continuous variables. But we can also still exploit, because I think we have here two scale variables. So maybe you can be able also to use the same, to check. So you can go to graphs. So if you want to visualize anything, usually go to graphs. I recommend you for the start to use the legacy dialogues. So there you can see options of all charts you can be able to prepare based on which type of data you have. So when you have categorical data, if you have categorical data, that means that it's either nominal or ordinal. You use bar chart, pie chart. Bar chart, pie chart is the most appropriate charts for you to use while plotting categorical data. Categorical data, you make use of bar chart, pie chart. In this case, simple charts you can use. But still, we usually have other charts that you can explore that you can be able to do a lot with them. But in this case, I recommend for you to begin while you have a categorical data, just make use of bar chart and pie chart. When you have continuous data, you can use line charts, you can use scatter plot, you can use histogram, and so on. So if you want to plot a bar chart, so you click on bar chart and then you come here to simple, clustered, and stacked. So if you have one variable, for example, you want to see the distribution of gender, you just click on simple bar chart. If you have two variables that you want to compare, you either go the clustered way or the stacked way. You see how clustered it is side by side, while stacked is heap. So that's how we do that. So you can click on the simple. I think you can go with, just go with simple, and then go define. Go to define, and now it will open a dialog, and you can now take the variable that you want to, and then take it to the variable that you want. In this case, which variable do you want to check? The staff not staff communication. Which variable do you want to check? It must be categorical. How frequently? You can take the how frequently do you come to our, so click on it. So take it to category axis. Take it to category axis. Just click on the arrow. Click on the arrow next to category axis. Don't struggle with dragging. And you can either choose you want it to bars to be represented by the number of cases or the percentage of cases, or which one do you want. And then you can add the title. So go to the top right and click on title. And you can type there now in line 1 the title for your plot. Maybe it is how frequently do you come to? Of course, distribution of customers in terms of that one, it will be visible on your yeah, just write anything there. How frequently do you come to our shop or for our services? You can write anything there, but you need to ensure that it is something that actually describes your chart. It's easier way for the chart to talk on its own, because that is the essence of visualization, to ensure that the charts can talk on their own behalf. Yeah, then you click on continue. Once you're done, you click on continue, and then you click on okay. So you'll see how your graph is. So you see how frequently, because that's why I was saying this one is already in the label, so it will be visible in the label. So you usually give a title that is stand on. Yeah, but that is it. That's how we plot the bar charts. That's how we plot the bar charts. Is that okay now? So you can explore other charts as well, how to do the pie chart. It's just simple as the one for bar chart, but there's nothing you can destroy in in SPSS. So you just have to explore a lot of things, like on visualization, you can be able to explore. You click on define, you go and define what you want to present, maybe the same variable in terms of pie chart. So go to define slice by. Yeah, so you take it to define slice by, and then you click on OK. If you want to add title, you can add title, and so on. Yeah, so that's how we use the pie chart and bar chart for us to visualize our categorical variables. And you can see the legend there. If you want to add data labels, you can right click on your chart and add the data labels in the chart editor window.
Pardon?
You can right click and double click on your chart and go to the chart editor and add the slices, add the percentages. Right click to add the data labels. Like you just right click and go to show data labels. Yeah. Close. Yeah. So you can choose which way. So because your chart, you produced it as the number of cases. If we could have produced it as percentages, we could have been seeing this as percentages and not the numbers. So during the presentation of your data is where you can be able to choose, do you want to see it as number of cases or the frequency, the percentages?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so that is it. So that's the visualization side, but you can explore more. There is a lot. There's another way of visualizing by going to graph again. Let me show you another way also you can be able to visualize. Go to graph again. So you go to chart builder. Go to chart builder. Just click OK. So chart builder here, you drag the chart that you want to visualize. which chart do you want to visualize. If it is bar chart, you drag the chart to the chart area preview. Drag it to the chart area preview. Drag a gallery chart here. So drag it and paste it there. Drag it and drop it there. Yeah. And then now you can define the variable that you want. For example, gender, drag it to x-axis. It must be categorical variable that you put in the of course you could have placed it in the x-axis. It makes more sense.
How do I delete it?
Yeah, just drag it from there to to that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that way. Yeah, that way is how you do it. And maybe if you want to add other things, but I think this way is usually advanced because it's more of complications, but you can still use the legacy dialog. That one is the best way I usually recommend for you to start with. And then you can later explore here how you can plot other charts. They're just similar way of visualizing data, but for this case, it's drag and drag. You can drag also something like customer satisfaction and put in the y-axis, or just put it in the y-axis and let's see how your visual will be like.
Customer
satisfaction, because it's categorical as well. Customer satisfaction, yeah. So this is just limited. It's not showing. So you can change your chart to the clustered. Go to just down there, where you are dragging charts, click on the clustered chart. Next, under the chart icons, where we see a lot of charts down here. No, under bar chart, the visual we see there. So go to the clustered, to the next chart after the simple bar chart you saw. After the simple bar chart, you dragged to the dialog, the second one. That one is stacked. You can take stacked or you can take the clustered, which is just before stacked. Yeah, that one. Drag it. Yeah, so that's how you can visualize that. So you see there the customer gender and the corresponding counts, but I recommend that you just make use of the what we call the legacy dialog. But here you can also use that, because you see there is like a legend on your left down there, unsatisfied, neutral. Can you change your chart to that one? Is stacked. That one is stacked chart. Did you drag stacked or you dragged the no, don't go to the complicated charts. Go to the second chart I told you, not that one. Go to that one, the clustered. Just reset everything. Yeah, you see now you can also visualize your data in that way. So there is a lot that you can be able to do, but some of the things you need to learn them step by step. But the best way for you to get started is to use the legacy dialog, and sometimes you can now come here and try to drag some visuals and make adjustments as you wish them to appear. But the best way to produce is just to use the legacy dialog. Is that okay?
Yes.
So if you want to just close that one, just close so if you want to visualize the continuous data, for example, age, maybe a histogram, so you can go to graph. You can go to graph, and then you go to legacy dialog, and then you can now go to histogram. Down. Histogram. Yeah.
Just done that.
Yeah. Yeah, histogram. Okay. Then now from there you can take something like age. So you see, histogram is usually used to visualize continuous data. So take it to the variable. Take it to the variable. Just click on the arrow. Yeah, so then you can check if you want to see a normal curve on your histogram, you check on display normal curve. If you don't want, you leave. And then you click on OK. So there is how you can produce your histogram. And you can see the summary, you can see the mean there. For the age of your customers is 34. The standard deviation, how far the values from the mean is 7.26, and the number is 10. Number of customers is 10. Yeah, so you can also still add the title the other way, but everything you can still adjust step by step. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have a lot to learn. Then, so we need to use your data. So just minimize that window, minimize the output window. Yeah. So there we want to create a new variable. Go to data view from the existing variable. We want to create a new variable from the existing variable. So go to your data view. So from the data view here, we see we have gender, we have age, we have satisfaction, we have frequency, we have name, we have identification number, we have the purchased amount and stuff like that. So suppose we want to create categories. Suppose we want to create categories from the categories of age bracket from age. Marilyn, if you are with us, can you guide us on how we can get age bracket, a new variable known as age bracket, being computed from age? Transform it from age.
Okay, so go to transform. Then if you navigate down through, you'll see record into same variable. Yes.
Hello, Marilyn, we need a new variable.
Oh,
We
you
don't
need a
need to
new-
replace the existing. Yeah, we don't need to replace the existing.
Just go back. We'll transform, record into different variable. Then age, pick age. Okay. Then go to output variable, then name we can say age cut.
Huh?
Age cut, you can give it a name, a new name.
Age cut for age category. Yeah, you need to
You give it
finish
a new
because when
name.
you say
It's a new
age cut,
variable you're creating. Oh, sorry, age category. So you can just write age cut. Then the label is what you'll want. You can just say age cut.
a label now you can give the full name. For example, age category, full name with the space, because the name is for the name of the variable.
The variable, how it will appear. Then go to old and new variable. Then here. No, don't click continue first. Wait. So here, we need to come up with the Madanga.
Yes.
We come up with the age brackets that we want.
Yeah, we come up with the age ranks
Yeah,
that we want.
that we want. So like for
Yeah,
this
so
case, can see
so
that.
for example, let's say we want let's say we want like 4 categories, 3 or 4, let me see. If 4 categories, first one is below 18, second one is 18 to 24, the third one is 25 to 34, and then the last one is above 35. So you can use that one. Marilyn, back to you.
So the first one is below 18.
Yeah, below 18. Jacqueline, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Then the
Yeah,
second one
so the
is
first one is below 18, Marilyn.
then the second one is
The second one is 18 to 24. And then the third one is 25 to 34. And then the fourth one is above 35. Okay, 35 and above.
okay. So go to hapo kwa value, then write below 18.
Imekataa.
Okay. So for the first case, you can go to range. You see there under old value, go to range, the lower one, the lower one, yeah, range lowest true value, click that one. And now in the box there, you can type 18. Okay. And now you go to your new value. You see the other side, new value, we have old value this side, new value this side. So under new value, we can give it like number 1. And now we can click add. Then we can go to the second one. So the second one is go to range through the other one, the range, yeah, the range through the above one. Click on the it is radio button, that one. So the next one is 18 to 24. 18 through 24. 24 down there, under through 24. And then you can go to value and you can give it a value of 2. You click on add and you go to again there 25 to 34. 25 through 34. 25 through 34, and you can click on the value there. You can put 3 and then you can add, and then after adding you can create, now go to range value through highest, range value through highest, and there you can now give 35, and now you can click on continue. Okay, go go to value, give it a 4. Give it a value of 4, and now you can click on add and you click on continue. So yeah, so that is it. So you can click on change. Do you really click on change at first? Okay, then now you click on okay. Now you click on okay, and now you can go to your data view. You can go to your data view, minimize that chart, remove that chart there, minimize that chart window. So you see we have created a new variable known as edge cut. And this edge cut has been created from the existing variable known as edge. So we want to label it. So to label it, we said you go to variable view, and we go to the values for that variable edge cuts. We go to the variable view. Then there now we can give it a value of 1 was 8 below 18. So you can write there below 18. Below 18 years. Below 18 years. Then you go to value 2. You can still change it if you want. You can click on it and click on and then change don't remove, just add below 18 years in the label space. Yeah, and then you can now click on change. Yeah, then you can go to 2.
So how do I maybe?
Just no problem, just proceed there. 2, remove that one, delete that one, and add 2, and you change that to 18 to 24 years. You can click on add, and then you go to 3. You can now label it 25 to 34. Yes, you click on add, and you can go to 4 above 35. You click on add, and then you click on OK. So when you go to your data view and click on the arrow for changing numbers to letters, you see now we have a variable that tells us that age cut has been changed from numbers to their corresponding label values. So from there, we have converted a continuous variable to a categorical variable. Now we can be able even to compute the categorical plots from the age bracket. Jacqueline, you'll have to practice on how to do this because you'll have the recording. So you have the BMI dataset. You'll be able to, from that dataset, we will be able to compute BMI with you, and then you will now create the categories for the BMI from that data. So that's what we have learned. We have learned on how to transform a variable to a new variable, existing variable to a new variable. So another thing we needed to learn is how to compute a variable, an existing variable. So for us to do that,
How to compute?
A new variable from existing variables. For example, we want to use the BMI dataset. I want you to, this is what we have learned from your dataset that you created as an exercise. So I want you to share your BMI dataset you downloaded. So you can stop sharing this one unless there is a question here, and then we can now be able to open that dataset that you downloaded for the BMI, the link I sent. So the link I sent, just go straight to the link I sent, paste it in your browser, and then you'll be able to download that dataset, and then we can open it in SPSS.
See here.
It's the same dataset, but now here you cannot be able to access it. So just stop sharing first, and then go to your WhatsApp, and then you copy that link, you paste that link in the browser, and then it will download automatically, and then you will be able to share your screen. It is the same data that is in the learning management, but The difference is that you are not able to download it while you are from your end. So that's why I sent you the direct link.
Copy then paste the link.
So you can reshare your screen and paste it in the browser, and then I think it should download automatically.
The first link yenye ulinitumia, si ndio?
Yeah, not the meeting link. The first link. The one for Drive.
Okay. I should save it first, Ama.
No, just share your screen. Just share your screen. Once you have downloaded, just know where it is, and we can open it from SPSS. We'll show you how we import data. So hope you have already downloaded it. Yeah, it's already downloaded. So just click on the Save As. I see your browser has option for Save As. So just click on Save As, and I think it will ask you where you want to save it. Just know where you want to save it, and just leave it as BMI. Just know where you want to save it, and just leave it as BMI. Then you save. Just know where you save it so that you can be able to locate it once you know where you save it. Okay, now you can go to your SPSS. You have over 1,000 windows for SPSS open. Okay. Okay, so go to your SPSS and yeah, it's open. I think you had closed everything. Okay. So yeah, so just open the whole window. Yeah, so maximize. Then go to File. Then go to Import Data. Then go to CSV. So you must know the extension for your data. So hover along the arrow. Then go to CSV. Our data is CSV file. And then you go to this PC because I think you saved it in this PC. So go to the arrow there under documents. So look for this PC. I think you just saved in this PC without locating where to save it. At the top, go to this PC. Yeah, so there you go. Where is it? BMI is there. So click on it. BMI, click on it. Then now you can click on Open. So once you click on Open, it will open up a preview window. So you wait for it to project the preview. So once you have the preview, you see there your data is separated with a comma. So that's why it is a delimiter between values is comma. As we import data into SPSS, you can have different types of data. So delimiters. So you just choose which one is appropriate. And that is it. So it is comma for our case. And the first line contains the variable names. That is okay. We are just exploring these things so that you know next time when you import data, you know how to import it. But now you have already opened it. That's okay. So that is the data that we have. So for example, we have male, we have female in our data. Sometimes you may import data, and when you go to variable view, the male are not defined as male and female are not defined as female when you go to variable view, because you remember while we were learning about data entry. So this data is not from SPSS. That's why it is not already labeled. That's why you are importing it. It is a CSV file. So for you to label that, you cannot label it straight from there. If you label it straight from there, you will mess up with everything on the other end. First of all, you have to go to your data view. You have to go to your data view and select the column gender. So we want to replace everything that is male with female. So select the column known as gender. And now go to your edit and go down to replace. So find, type there male, capital M. Always it's case sensitive, so you must check. Then replace with 1. Then you replace all. So this is like data cleaning. Once you have data imported from another file, you have to clean data first. So you go to find female. Then value 2. So you should remember which one did you say male, which one did you say female. Replace all. You click OK. You close. So there, you can now go to your variable view. You can now go to your variable view. Under variable view, you can now change your gender type to numeric because it was string. So you have to change it to numeric. And you click OK. You go to values. There is where now you will be defining what was male, what was female. So there you can define 1 was male, 2 was female. Capital, you can choose capital, but you need to be sure with the way you want everything to be. So if it is female for everything, if it's capital, please maintain consistency.
Okay.
So you can just change for male so that it can be capital M. Then we click OK. You change, then you click OK. So when you go to your data view, you will now have you can now change there the view of your data to see if it is changing, but the type is still nominal, so we just need to change it to, yeah, it's nominal, of course, it's okay. Yeah, so everything is okay. So you see there now you can be able to do the analysis on that variable. So sometimes when data is coming from other sources, you will be required to do this because by default it will not have been labeled. So from there now, you see that index column.
Yeah.
That index column is the is the BMI rank, because you see under the from the LMS you saw there's some description about what 0 is, what 1 is, what 2 is, what 3 is, what 4 is, and stuff like that. So maybe I can just here they are not defined, so you have to define that the way we did for gender. So you have to define that in the variable view. You would have to define that in the variable view. You see here in the variable view, there's no values. You have to define the values for the index. So I don't know if you can access the LMS and check what was via the phone. You can check via your phone. I think you have your phone. You can check via your phone and label there.
My phone
You
is
don't have your phone is
switched off. Imezima.
okay. Just close there and maybe you can close there. Don't close SPSS. So maybe you just hover to, or you just wait there. Wait there. I check for you so that you don't leave. So 0 is extremely weak. 0 is extremely weak. Yeah, but you like writing your stuff like this anyway. For me, I think I like writing everything in proper form, not in the lowercase. You like writing everything in lowercase anyway. Then we go to the next one. 1 is weak. Now we are talking about this BMI index, body mass index. So 1 is weak, and then add 2 is normal. 2 is normal. Add 3 is overweight. Add 4 is obesity.
Spelling.
Obesity. Yeah, obesity, just like that. Yeah, and then add, and then the last one is extreme obesity. Extreme obesity. Extreme obesity. 5 extreme obesity. So that is how we can now be able to add labels to our values. Then you click OK. So when you go to your data view and you preview, you will have done a wonderful job. And now you have your meaningful categorical data. And now the last thing that you have to perform on your data is to compute BMI itself from weight and height. Compute another variable from existing variable. Marilyn, are you there? We are back to you.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, help us compute. So height is in centimeters and weight is in kgs. So we will not tamper with kgs because while computing BMI, we usually want height in meters and BMI and weight in kgs. So weight is already in kgs, but height is in centimeters. So you want, first of all, Marilyn to help us compute height in meters. And then from there, we can be able to compute together the BMI for between height and weight. So you help us create compute a new variable from the existing variable known as height m for height meter.
Okay, so we will go to transform, then compute variable, then the target variable is height m. Yes. Then
ensure that you have underscore between the space or you combine
Yes.
M with your height. Please, Jacqueline, don't
The
forget
rules,
how we
the
name
rules for
variable.
naming variables, yeah. Then move down, there is height over there. So take it to the numeric expression. Height is in centimeter.
Yes, it is in centimeters.
Okay. There is I don't know if you can see, navigate through the signs so that you pick an over.
Huh?
The all over sign. Can you see it? It's just below, yeah. Over 100. Then press OK. Yeah. So there we have it.
All right. So from there, we proceed to computing the BMI. Yes, Jacqueline, do you have a question?
Why haven't you
Yes.
used the same method that you used before? You could add another.
Oh, okay. So what we are doing, we are creating a new variable, but we are converting. You see, the first height is in centimeters. For you to calculate BMI, you must have height in meters, and you must have weight in kgs. So we are not creating categories. When we create categories is where now creating categories is what you will do once we have computed the BMI. The categories like the index that we have here. You see this one are the categories. And then also like the gender we did for changing all that to their categories, like the index here is categories. So you will perform BMI to its ranks by doing the transformation of variables. But here we are computing the variable from centimeters to meters. So the next thing we want to do, are we together now? Okay. The next thing we want to do is to compute the BMI itself. So, because the formula for BMI is height in kgs divided by the weight in kgs, weight in kgs divided by the height in meter squared. So we start by going to transform. Start by going to transform. We want to compute BMI. So you go to transform, you go to compute variable. So from compute variable there, so you delete what is existing, call it BMI, call the target variable BMI. That is the variable we are creating, the new variable we are creating. So we are creating a new variable known as BMI. And the numeric side, we start by the numeric side, numeric expression side. Go to the numeric expression side. So delete, remove that 100. So start by opening the brackets. Use the brackets, okay. Open the brackets there, right? Then take height. Oh, not height. First of all, we are starting with the weight. It is kgs. Yeah, so start with just remove that bracket, remove that bracket, remove that bracket. There's no problem. Just remove that bracket. The first bracket, remove it. And then now take weight. Take your weight. Take your weight to the numeric expression. Okay, then divide by. So use the division symbol and then into brackets. So you call your height in meters, the one in meters, the height that is in meters. And then multiply by, use the multiplication. It's can we get the raised 2? The raised 2. Or the double
Star.
multiplication will work as yeah, the double multiplication will be used as the raised 2. You check there the double, yeah, multiplication, yes, and then now you write 2.
Pardon?
We are squaring height. We are squaring height in meters. So press 2. We are squaring height in meters.
Which one is the raise? Raise 2.
The raise is the double starix. The double starix that you have already used is the
So if I write that way,
raised 2. And then, yeah, we are squaring it, like we are squaring the height to make it height in meters square. Squared meters. So you close your parentheses that you opened. Close your parentheses that you opened, and now you can complete. You can click OK. I don't know if it is okay, Marilyn. I think everything is fine.
Yes,
from what
it's
I
okay.
can see.
It's okay. Yeah.
So you see, we have computed a new variable known as BMI.
yes.
And the BMI there associates with the index that we have. So someone can just check the obesity, if it's obesity, and the corresponding BMI value. So that means that there is a range of values for this Likert scale. But sometimes you can create your own BMI scale, 3-number BMI scale. I think it's usually less than 18 point something, then 18.5 to 24.5, then 25 to up to that something, that 30 sharp, and then above that it is obesity. So you can always have you can usually if you Google, you can get the Likert scale for this. So this is your assignment, Jacqueline, to look for the BMI Likert scale that you can use to categorize the BMI values we have computed here into their corresponding categories. So we will call it, the assignment is, for example, you remember we had age, and we created a new variable age bracket in your data set.
Yeah.
I want you to use BMI to create BMI brackets.
Okay.
So the BMI brackets, you can get the value ranges. I will send you the Likert scale for you to use to range the values. The Likert scale is where you get maybe when the value ranges below 18, it is underweight, yeah, and stuff like that. So I'll give you that range so that you can be able to compute that as your assignment.
Okay.
Okay, so that marks the end of our session today. And another assignment is that you should do all visualizations that you can do from this data set we have created. You can do the histograms, you can do the pie charts, you can do the cross tabulations for male. Is male and female associated with the index, the body mass index, the BMI? You can plot scatter plot for relationship between height and weight. So we are going to add you the questions, but try to see what you can be able to generate any insights from this data set. Is that okay?
Yes.
But we will still send you the questions that you can use to learn how to perform this. Yeah, so that marks the end of our session today, and thank you for joining us.